and we had a look, and it was a lesson learned. So what we've had to do is find ways in which we question the learners and ask them to build their own knowledge in a way which avoids the temptation to be able to copy and paste. So, if for instance now, if I could just go into, shall we say, petrol fuel injection. Now, we are operating where learners actually add to the information which we already give them. So we set them in a direction and they add the content. Okay? So the content itself can be varied. It can be from video, it can be from blogs, discussions, whatever they want to be, but this is ours. So what our learner will do is he will maximize it, or she, and then it will come across and it will go to actions, and it will go to create a copy. This then gets downloaded into their own Google Docs web. What will happen is that they then can simply open it up. It's exactly the same information, but I'm putting in tasks. So they can add to that task. It's all there, and because it's written in the same programs that they're using now, we can actually put in text boxes that we drag around to identify components, or whatever we decide that we want to do. Simple abbreviations. And now what I'm asking them to do here is just give you some basic health and safety information about working with petrol. Now, rather than trying to send them away and create a document fresh from scratch, what they are doing, as I said, they're adding into our own information. So it is their content now which will determine the outcome. What we're doing is we're just giving them little pointers to send them in that direction. Now we can do a variety of different types of learning. So if I was, for instance, to go back into there, oh, sorry. Okay. So if I wanted, say, for instance, I wanted to do something on, oh, I don't know, the rotary engine. Just an interest pack. You've seen it all before. You can just put a rotary engine YouTube slide in there. But the beauty of using Google Docs is that we can add to it. Now this is another particular pack. This is on lubrication systems. And what I can do, it's dead easy to do. When you actually create a Google document or Google presentation, if you just put in insert video, because Google owns YouTube, you can just type in what you want and that will actually just go straight into that pack. And all you have to do is upload the HTML onto your blog site. Our students, that's what we do, that's all very good. Our learners produce this. I go to my dashboard. And I scroll all the way down the bottom, and let's just go for, I don't know, let's go for Jackie. Okay. Jacqueline Safazi's ePortfolio. We take a look at it, and this is what our students are producing for us. This is an electronic portfolio. Nothing is paper-based. It is all done on the internet in Web 2 technologies. We are heavily involved with blogging as well, and we do encourage our students to write about all sorts of issues other than motor vehicle. We're trying to make them better New Zealanders. We had a blog the other day, should we be paying for the rebuilds on these houses? And we had a massive, almost a fight in the classroom with yay and nay. We even had somebody who wanted to send poor people into the army. So that's the sort of, and we're trying to spark that conversation all the time. We're trying to get it going. And you know, they love to argue with me. And again, we'll do that through the medium of blogging. We tried one, the good, the bad, and the ugly with cars. And of course, all my cars are going to be British. And what comes back is, well, pure hatred in some cases. But if you take a look at, we have the ability as well with cameras. We've got access to video cameras here, high-def video cameras, and our students are getting quite creative with some of the ways in which they're actually presenting information across. I'm sorry for running on. That's all right. 1 more minute? 2? But this is Jackie's. This is from a practical session in which we got in the classroom. And what we're doing is we're dissolving the differentiation between practical and theory as well. So it's just one big process of learning. And this is now us. This is not from YouTube. This is Jackie in the classroom with a video camera when we were actually looking at measurement for an engine. Okay, and just to prove, that's Derek, my colleague. Now, if we were to go back out again, we would say, for instance, going to go into, DJ. DJ is, shall we say, probably was challenged at school, but that's what we're getting. They're writing a lot better. This is probably the first time in their life somebody's asked them to voice an opinion. We've done one, the first one we've done was about 10 weeks back when the Show started to rear its head again. And we asked them about the treaty, and because the way in which the treaty is presented to them in school, they were interested. But once you start to explain to them that, you know, this is your opinion, this will affect you in your adult life, then some of the information we were getting back, some of the arguments were pretty good and pretty strong. Probably because nobody's ever asked them that opinion before. But this is, it's just a nice little blog, and we're going to finish that part of this particular task off next week. The way in which we get them to blog is we have a card system. We've got 80 cards, 80 addresses on. And what we'll do then is we just randomly dish them out amongst the class so they can actually try to comment on each other's e-portfolios. There are other things which we're looking at, especially the self-assessment. That's something else which is starting to come. We are getting better at using some of the technologies. But if we were to look at DJs here, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we've got 4 comments. And this is DJ arguing with me about the smart car. I think the smart's the work of genius, DJ doesn't. But we'll do it, we'll carry on, and we'll follow, yeah. You have to excuse the language, I know, and some of it is but you can see what he's trying to do. You know, he wants to V8 in that. Why do you want to V8 in such a little car? But we'll follow that through. The feedback which we gave them, remember that form I showed you earlier on, the assessment form? That feedback, we're in the process now of copying and pasting all that into the posts. So they're actually getting to see what we've written about them and how we want them to improve. The learners themselves, they love it. It's flexible, we're getting working. The beauty of using Blogger in this way, particularly from our own point of view, is we can just put things on just for pure interest. I mean, this one, if we just go into this one, these videos here, they're absolutely nothing to do with what we're teaching on the course. Basically, all it is a UK program where they try to make a bog standard family car go as fast as a Mitsubishi Evo. And it goes through the process of doing it, and it's fun. And we leave it up there for a week, and I can take it back down again. I can put things up here just for pure interest. We asked them as a group to say how they're going, how they're progressing, and the feedback we're getting is they are loving it. They're tending. And these are students who probably never set foot in the school gate, so if they did, they went in there kicking and screaming. But another thing which we can do, just a second. just last one. Another thing we can do though is one of the students come back and said, this is too easy. He's finding it so simple. So we'll just put up packs to give them that little bit of extra incentive.